Hello and welcome to the Rose Rehash. That's right, every Tuesday night after the Bachelorette, we go through the main theme of tonight's show. We go to some superlatives and then we do the awards section. Before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. I'm putting out stuff here all the time, as clips from my podcast, also some stand-up stuff. So get subscribed, and I want you to comment. I want to hear from you. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you like tonight's episode? Did you not like tonight's episode? Did you think? Whatever you have to say, put in the comments and and all those good things that really help me out. These are free ways to pay for this wonderful show we're putting together every week. So please, please, please subscribe, comment, like, all those things. Also, you can not like. That's okay too. These are all good options. So let's get into tonight's episode. Tonight's episode, fine. Nothing crazy. Some new characters emerged. I would say the theme of tonight, let's go to that, is not being seen. That was repeated again and again. Michelle didn't feel seen by the other men. And this has been kind of a theme for the whole season. Michelle references, I think a lot of what Michelle references is not being chased, not being the woman that men are going for, and I think everyone has an element of that in their life. I do believe, like, all of us, went to middle school and felt awkward and went through puberty. So I think this is such a relatable thing for anyone watching the show. Obviously, hers has a lot to do with race and being in Minnesota and being from a biracial family that I can't possibly understand. But I do understand being out of place and not feeling like you're the belle of the proverbial ball, the belle of the, you're not the prom queen. You're not getting voted that. And I can understand that. And I think that's something that's interesting to see weighing on someone, because when we got to the date where it was the pajama party date and the men all started getting into it in a way that wasn't about her, I remembered something specific. I have met many bachelorette contestants. That is not a brag by any means, but I've been in, because I deal in this world, I've come across a lot of these people who have been on the show, and the men especially will say something to me very specific every time I meet with them. They'll say something along the lines of, "Oh my God, they cut so many of my funny scenes. They cut so much of the fun stuff. They cut so much of the hilarious interactions." And I know they're saying that to me because I'm a comedian and they want to, say, well, I'm funny too. But it shows you what men care about. And it's get the girl and be funny. And men do genuinely care about those things. Now, it is interesting, and I noticed it when Chris S. was given the tighty whities and the shirt to look like, Tom Cruise from, the Risky Business outfit, and they never mentioned Risky Business, maybe because of copyright stuff, but and then they do like a 5-minute montage of him, dancing on the couch, and you're like, I didn't come here for this. None of us came here for these dudes to be funny or entertaining. We are here to watch them pursue a woman and, be angry at each other along the way. We're here for drama. We're here for a man and a woman to be together at the end of this day. And you start to see during this funny group date where it's 12 of the men and they're kind of in competition with each other, they end up being in competition with each other to be funny, to be entertaining. They're doing the Build-A-Bear. They're doing the Twister. They're doing all these things. And it's interesting to me because whenever one of these contestants says to me, "Oh, yeah, they cut all my funny scenes," I'm like, yeah, they fucking should. Who cares about you being funny? I want to see you get angry at another dude because you both want the gal. I want to see you two put in weird positions where you are the person with abs that falls on his face a little bit. That's why we're watching at home. None of us are watching to find our new comedian on the show. None of us are watching to find who's the most hilarious in the house. No, we want to see how love, blossoms. So I do understand what happened on that PJ date, that that slumber party date. The men saw an opportunity to be funny. They were in their costumes. They get to be in a funny atmosphere, and they totally forgot about Michelle. Now, if I'm Michelle, I would be angry too. I think she has a right to be angry. Also, with her childhood weighing on her, that the theme of the season is feeling seen, quote unquote. I would understand why she's so angry, and there's nothing she can do about it. That's even more enraging of it all. How about if you're the Bachelorette, you want to be coveted. You want to be chased after. You want to see these men go head to head for your love because you're taking this seriously. She can't say anything, too. She even said that. What's she going to say? She's going to turn into a Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and be like, I'm the Bachelorette. Everyone should be obsessed with me. She knows that not everyone there is here for her. She knows not all 12 men on that date are taking them too seriously, but she wants to see who is. And if no one steps up, now she's like, what do I do here? I can't beg them to pursue me. I can't beg them to forget about being funny so that they remember that they're here for me. And I think that's what happened. And that is not to say none of the men want her. I do think there are men that are pursuing her, but I think they saw an opportunity to be entertaining, to be the funny one on camera, and they forgot about her. And if I'm Michelle, I have to wonder, okay, this is a part of your character. This is a part of what you're looking for out of this. You aren't looking for a wife. You're looking for a platform because you want to be the funny one. And little do these guys know, funny don't make the final cut. Let's go to some superlatives. The first one is worst date ever. The bathtub inside of a garage date that Martin and Michelle went on, I can't even understand who thought that would be romantic, who would even want to get into the tub. That wasn't a tub that had chlorine in it. That wasn't a hot tub. That was a steel drum that was filled up with a hose, and then there was a champagne put next to it inside of a garage. I don't even understand how a garage tub is even thought of. Take them to a spa down the road. Take them back to the hotel. They're sitting in a garage. It's got to be drafty. It's got to be, or it's 100 degrees. That is not a tub made for soaking. They're literally next to a car engine smelling oil off it. There was nothing romantic about that tub. The tub made me want to go take a shower right away, even from watching it. Let's go to the luckiest guys of the show. The Lucky Charms. Yeah, the Lucky Charms, any man that was not on the slumber party date really escaped. Rick and Martin. Rick and Martin didn't have to deal with, because what happened was a little bit of groupthink. The men trying to be funny, trying to compete with each other. And Rick and Martin are the luckiest because they get to step aside and go, oh, yeah, I guess they don't care about the girl. Like as if they were there, they wouldn't have done the same thing. Rick was inside of a table for the whole first date. But they can always claim that I wasn't on that group date. I'm still here for you. These guys, they just want to have funny fun time and play with bears and hit each other with slumber parties. And it's like they escaped. They could have been there and they would have been the same idiots as the rest of the guys. The last one is bad luck. Chris S. being the tattletale, being the Randall from Recess, being the skeevy guy who's going to go to the teacher and be like, teacher, you forgot the homework, is a bad look for Chris S. because he looks exactly like the type of guy who would go up to the teacher and be like, teacher, you forgot to get the homework. He looks like the guy who would do exactly what he's doing on the show. And what he did is really interesting because he took something that Nate said and he turned it into something Nate couldn't refute, which is a real slime ball move. Nate got on the group date and his response was, you know what? I'm okay. I feel confident. I think it's okay to be confident. I think it's okay to be like, you know what? I've established somewhat of a base. I feel like I'm getting to know her in a way that other people aren't. There's 13 of us left here. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable going on a group date as opposed to a one-on-one date. That's how I took what Nate said. But then Chris S., he took it into into his word machine, and he was like, yeah, Nate says he has it in the bag. Has it in the bag is such a different way to say what Nate said that it's not the same thing at all. But that's a slime ball move that Chris S. played. Chris S. is trying to stay on the show. He's trying to create a world where he can sidle up to Michelle and be her confidant. You could see the way she interacts with him is like is more, a teacher's pet than teacher's favorite. Let's go to the Batches. Now, the Batches is where I give divorce papers to my least favorite contestants and roses to my favorites. Let's go to the divorce papers first. The first divorce paper is going to go to Martin. Martin, you go on the first date after Jamie gets kicked out, and Michelle questions you on the Jamie situation, and you take Jamie's side? I don't care how close you are with Jamie. I don't care. What are you thinking? I mean, take a minute, just agree, and then think over what you're going to say. You actually are sitting there going, well, I don't know, he's a good guy. Well, it doesn't matter. The woman you're enjoying, the woman that you're sitting in a hot tub with, thinks he's not a good guy. So you can't see her side at all? I mean, I've never seen a big foot and mouth moment like that. I do appreciate that he's being honest. It seems like he has no filter. But the idea that he just got kicked out, you can't say, yeah, that guy made a bunch of mistakes. You go into like, I don't want to cross Jamie. Seems like a good guy to me. What are you going to get a job at his wherever he's a CEO? The next divorce paper is going to go to Chris S. I'm going to double up on Chris S. Chris S., he claims he's going to get a rose, and he's going to look right at Olu, and he's going to be like, wink, gotcha, buddy, and he doesn't do it. Chris S. is the ultimate slimeball, talk a big game, but he's got no game at all. He's sitting there being like, I'm getting that rose. I'm going to look right at Olu, and I'm going to let him know, yeah, I'm still here. And it's like, dude, you didn't even do it. You didn't even throw a wink. You could have looked back and made something happen. You didn't do it because you know what? You're afraid. You were afraid of getting shown that you're here for more of the game than you are the woman, because that really would have made it so you definitely would have gone home next week. Imagine Chris S. turns, wink. Michelle's like, did you just wink at him? He'd be like, yeah. This guy is all talk, no play. Chris S., I mean, if you had given the wink, I would have had a lot of more respect for you. At least you play the bad guy. Go for it all the way. Give a wink to Olu. Let him know you're still here. You didn't do it. The last divorce paper is going to go to both phrases, in the bag and feeling seen. I think I'm done hearing the phrase feeling seen and in the bag after this episode for the rest of my life. I have no reason to hear in the bag. I've never even heard someone use that in context without being like, ugh, what a loser. Like, got this in the bag. Like, in what world does anyone use that phrase? And the feeling seen thing, we all see you. We're all here. We're all trying. I understand. I hope that doesn't become the next, this is my person. I hope I don't start getting texts from girls being like, I just don't feel seen. I can't deal with that phrase forever. Let's give out some roses. The first rose is going to go to Build-A-Bear. They never mentioned Build-A-Bear Workshop, but they did a Build-A-Bear part of the slumber party date, and it actually looked fun. It actually looked cool. You got to pick out all your stuff. You can make a huge bear. You can fill it up with as much stuffing as you want. Build-A-Bear got a good plug tonight. The next one's going to go to the Silk PJs for men. Got to tell you, I want a pair of Silk PJs. It looked good. It looked breathable. Looked cool. Looked nice on the body. The robe is a bad look. The robe will make anyone who's even 10 pounds overweight look like they're a Buddha. And it cuts you at the wrong place. It always looks like a stomach. The Silk PJs, this could be an option for all of us that I didn't realize until tonight. Silk PJs, you're going to make it into my closet very soon. Last rose is going to go to Michelle. I thought Michelle was great. I think it's really hard to get upset with not being pursued on your own season. What a tough thing to admit. What a tough thing to like let them know about without sounding like kind of a brat. I thought Michelle walked that line great, like really did it well, really let them know like how she was feeling while also addressing like I'm turned off by this. All of you guys really didn't really make an effort, and look at me, and I'm here on the show. Why aren't you here for me? Are you here for Build-A-Bear or are you here for Michelle? Loved it for Michelle. Thought she did a great job communicating that without sounding like a brat, because it could have been, well, what about me? I'm the Bachelorette. It could have gone that way, and it never went that way. That's our episode. Back next week. Boom.